You're listening to a wee moan podcast with Nads and Joan.
Woo! Welcome back to a Wee Moan podcast, your guide to all things pop culture, entertainment and celebrity news. Today is my birthday, the 8th of September, and Nadia, Erin Patterson, was just sentenced.
Before we get into Erin Patterson, we need just like a quick happy birthday, Joanie.
Thanks very much.
And it also coincides, we are now double digits, people. We are now, this is our 10th episode, and it happens to be a birthday special.
I thought you were talking about my age. I'm like, double digits? I've been double digits since I was 10. Yes. Oh, right. So this is number 10, is it?
This is the 10th episode.
Woohoo!
We have Erin Patterson has been charged. Well, what do you call it? Charged, right?
Sentenced. No, sentenced.
Sorry, sentence.
Yeah.
And a birthday, like the three things a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah.
Tell us about the sentencing.
The sentencing. Okay, so the judge did a live sentencing on ABC radio, and I listened to the entire thing as I worked out at the gym. It was very lengthy. It went through her entire case in a timeline of her foraging mushrooms, hiding them, where her phone pinged, etc., painting a very guilty woman. She was then sentenced to 25 years for attempted murder, a further 25 years for the murder of her two other victims, and a non-parole period of 33 years. So she won't be eligible for any parole until she's into her mid-80s. The part I found most interesting, because, I mean, we know a lot of the evidence that has, you know, brought her to being found guilty, but they described her jail
cell,
like the reality of her jail cell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
give us an outline.
Yeah. So not good. She is.
Is it a women's prison?
Yes, women's prison, in the highest security women's prison. She is often in 24-hour lockdown, in solitary confinement. The judge made it very clear that because of her notoriety and the fact that all of these television shows and series will come out about her, she will always remain a high-profile prisoner, which puts her in extra, you know, having to be kept isolated. She gets all of her food and medicine delivered through like a little hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall, yeah.
Yep, it is a brick. It is a brick cell with a 1.5 to 2 meter outside area that she can walk in. That is, she has to ask permission to use. She really does not have communication with anyone else.
Wow,
it's just
so
her.
Just luxury accommodation then.
Yes, well, if you were a celebrity seeking some sort of retreat, which people do these days, and want to go into like a dark cave and be left alone, Erin is receiving that. That's what she's doing for the next at least 33 years. But yeah, she is alone in a dark cell. She's allowed to use.
I do actually feel a little bit sorry for her, but I guess given the nature of her crimes, and also now knowing like how she's wanted to kill her ex-husband for many, many years and attempted to do so, you can kind of see where all of this is coming from.
Yeah, and the judge read out all of the text messages. So, for example, when I mean, we've heard this before, but it is interesting to hear it again. When her ex-husband said, "Unfortunately, I cannot make it to the lunch this Saturday," he actually says, "as I feel awkward," she completely rips into him. She's like, "Oh, you have no idea how much work I've been doing for this lunch. I've bought all of this beef for the beef Wellington. I've worked really, really hard, and I'm not going to be able to do so for very much longer because of the illness that I'm now, I have come down with. I truly hope that you change your mind."
i.e. she's been knee deep in bloody mud and weeds and whatever to get mushrooms.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, that was true, wasn't it? She had been working hard. She'd been foraging for months for poisonous and like tracking it on
And
devices.
apparently you need quite a lot of mushroom to kill a person. Like I had kind of
Really?
I'd heard that it's like 1 to 2 mushrooms per adult.
It's not that much though, is it?
They're not. I do believe that they're not super common. Like you
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. She had to be on certain websites to find where they were available. But yeah, that's her now. That's where she's at. And then he's like, at the end of the sentencing, he's like, stand up. And you're just like, oh my God. Like,
wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
You can imagine her standing up looking furious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then he's just like, right, you're getting 25 years for this, 25 for that.
I feel like, it'd be a bit of a waste if she wasn't studied. Like by some like top-notch psychologist or psychiatrist, just to kind of get real in deep there and kind of work out what's the driving force behind, her motivations and why and how this sort of bubbles up in someone. Yeah,
hate,
they're like revenge.
Jealousy.
It's revenge. But like to kill someone and their entire family, like there must be something going on there. I'd love it to be studied.
Well, like I said too,
I want to know the whys.
When he described her prison cell and her current living circumstances, how she's completely isolated, he also made point of saying that there was one other prisoner in the prison who was in there for terrorism charges, and that this is one person who she's been allowed to talk to, and he's like, this was not requested by you. This was something that a prison officer suggested might be of use. I think because they're both in there for such severe crimes and they're isolated. And then he also made a point of the fact that she can use the phone. She's allowed to use a phone to speak to other prisoners, like at certain points. He's like, you have made no attempt to do so. So I think he was sort of like saying,
scolding her.
I don't know, but like also like saying that she doesn't seem to be making the most of her time in of her privileges in the jail cell. Like she's not saying, could I use the phone or could I, I think she has access to a library for like a number of hours a day. And Erin did once run a bookshop. But I don't think she's asked for access to the library. So like she's deeply contemplating her past actions, I'm sure. And,
Look, I don't know. I honestly, people like that fascinate me. I do really, you wonder like where is all this coming from? But look, it sounds like she is definitely not going to be having the best rest of her life. And look, it sounds like she took 3 lives away from this planet and destroyed generations of families and all that sort of stuff. So it really it probably fits the crime then. But we also want to talk about one other
serious matter.
Is it a true crime? I mean, it's a crime, right? It's a crime, but and she did actually go to jail. So we're actually wanting to talk about the teenage catfish so it's a pretty epic documentary series on Netflix. And Joan, you were saying that your husband Andrew, like who doesn't really talk about TV shows like this, was like everyone's talking about this around the office, like it's like a real water cooler type show.
Yes, he was, and I'd already watched it, of course, because that's just who I am. But he came home and said, have you heard of this? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you'd hate it. But he was like, everyone's talking about it. So yes, it is. Everyone's talking about it. What did you tell us, Nadia? Explain what it's about.
So look, I think we're safe to kind of like we are going to we'll chuck a picture up. I reckon we're safe to do spoilers. I'm gonna tell you a very major spoiler. So if you don't want to hear, maybe like fast forward the next 10 minutes. So basically, it just follows the story of a young girl and boy, and of course I don't have their names in front of me.
I'll Google it.
They're in high school. It's the cutest little couple, and they've got mobile phones, they've got social media, all that sort of stuff. And all of a sudden, they start receiving these text messages, and they're horrible. And it's regarding their relationship. Really sordid kind of text messages, stuff relating to, sex, and they're really young. They're like 13, 14, stuff, like making her feel insecure about the relationship. Like he wants other people, also talking about her body, like really leading to them both feeling suicidal at different points in time. And the story goes on for a long time. They ended up breaking up, this cute little couple. And in this documentary, we have the parents who are really involved, the local police, the local schools, and then the FBI gets involved. And basically the FBI starts uncovering like where these text messages are coming from, and they discover finally that these text messages are actually coming from the girl's mother.
Ew. Mom
was, and they show.
Okay, can you give me an example of one text message, please?
Oh, like
just give me, yeah.
He doesn't love you. You should kill yourself. He's you've got such a flat ass. Like every day, hundreds and
relentless bullying.
Relentless.
From Mummy Dearest.
And I always thought, like, when I was watching the show, I was like, why are the parents hell-bent on letting the messages keep going? Like, wouldn't you, if you had nothing to do with it, obviously, to say, hey, time to change your number, let's forget this. But they kept on saying, no, we really need to catch these people. So I always thought that was a little bit odd, like why they kept their numbers and phone numbers throughout the whole time. Like, that was severely affecting their their self-esteem and creating massive mental health issues for both of them. Anyway, they ended up breaking up, but the text messages did not stop. The text messages kept on going. The young boy ended up finding another girlfriend. All of a sudden, she and her parents started getting the text messages, really, really horrible stuff.
Ugly messages,
And then the FBI finally, and it was still going at the time, I believe. The FBI discovered that it was the mother of the young girl, which was just...
They hack the phone and they trace it.
Well, yeah, but I think they go through IP addresses, and it's just linked to telephones, but it was all behind, like they had to subpoena, because there was like apps that you can kind of use to have a no number, like call and text through no numbers.
Yes.
So there was all of these like like they had to subpoena different internet companies, different apps, like to try and get the anyway. So interestingly enough, the entire time, usually a guilty party in any documentary is not forward facing. They are either not even available for comment. They're nowhere to be seen in the entire investigation or in the entire docu-series. The mother in this instance is in the entire documentary, and they question her, like, what were you thinking? And her responses were breathtaking. Like, she was like, oh, we've all done, things that we're not proud of. I just got caught. And excusing her behavior, and then also saying that, she did, got ARD when she was younger, and this created a lot of different things. But to be honest, like all of that stuff, like you are sending these messages to your daughter. She's committing, like no past issue like that could, should never excuse current poor behavior. and criminal behavior at that. Like she was so brazen. She was so forward facing and just like, and yeah, she went to jail.
For how long? How long did she go to jail for?
I think it was a couple of years. Yep. And then the daughter, surprisingly, is still defending the mother. And look, for people like I was talking about psychology and all that sort of stuff. For people that are interested in anything like that, like watching the mother and the daughter, and also the policeman right at the end gave a really good insight. He was just like, it's Munchausen. It's very similar to Munchausen, which is, like if the mother intentionally poisons their child so they can be the savior and attention,
or it's when you're in a hostage situation, if there's hostages and the hostage falls in love with the hostage
No, that's a different one. That's
is it?
That's not Munchausen. That's yeah, that's a different name, but I know the one you're talking about.
Yep.
So in this particular one, like that makes a lot of sense because she did go home and like was like building like this, like connection with her child. And also like one of the other ladies on there that used to be friends with her said, she's really into being like an attention seeking, she's got a lot of attention seeking behavior. And I think she kind of liked this thing, like, the cops were involved. She was,
That's
like
right. It's all about liking drama. And she's forgetting the fact that she's sending sexually explicit text messages to her her daughter and daughter's boyfriend. I mean, it's so weird.
But then it also goes into the fact that she probably had an unhealthy obsession with the boy. With the boy, just because the text messages kept going after
they broke up.
Yeah. Which also could be an attention thing. And I want to put my own.
How's she going to act when the daughter gets engaged again? Like, you don't want to be giving mum your new boyfriend's number, do you? You'd be like, imagine that started happening again.
Yeah. No, well, they're not currently, they're talking, but they haven't seen each other since she came out of jail.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so it's just really complicated. Like the amount of compassion and like the daughter really does seem like a real sweetheart, but at the same time, like I do think she has the other syndrome where you do really love the person that's really
I'd like to Google those two syndromes and find out.
I know. I feel like you need to. Yeah, can you?
There's the hostage one, and we need to clarify those two syndromes. But I do feel so it's one of those. Now I watched this too. Firstly, the whole text messaging thing, and then how they get the school involved, and the school's not doing enough to stop the bullying of the children. And the text message, and the parents are like, "What is school going to do? They need to do something about it." And like lo and behold, it was a parent. Oh, it's the parent that's been texting one of the children, but we've made the school do everything about it. So I just kind of get really antsy about that because I'm a teacher and you have to deal with social media use at school, and it's very frustrating when it becomes a school problem. When like you said, you'd be really happy if the parents just said, "How about we change your number and let's get off our phone a little bit," But no, but instead this ridiculous situation has just gotten out of control. So for me, I was watching it kind of going, this is annoying.
Yeah. So Munchausen symptoms, just to interrupt, is faking symptoms, for example, choosing symptoms that are difficult to disprove, such as having severe headache. Yeah, so it's basically faking illness to create attention
to get sympathy.
To get sympathy. So that's Munchausen. The other one I can't remember the name of, so I can't. Stockholm's is where you fall in love with your So
captor.
I reckon a bit of both is happening in that. I mean, because the
maybe
daughter
we found we have created a new syndrome, and we need to we'll call it not Munchausen, Munchstock.
You heard it here first, guys. Yeah, absolutely. I reckon that's a good idea.
Okay, so what do you rate this television show, Nadia?
Oh, look, shock factor, 10 out of 10.
10 hours. So who did you think it was? I swear the minute you told me to watch this, I was like, is it the mum? Like, I just like, the minute you told me about it, I was like, it's going to be the mum.
Oh, look, I thought maybe she's sending it to herself or, like maybe, because they had, it's a classic docuseries style where they have all of these. It could be this person. Oh, it could be the best friend. It could be the bully. It could be,
Yeah.
I don't know, or like a policeman or something. I knew it had to be shocking. But the mother, like, like that was to do that to your own daughter and to have her suicidal was absolutely disgraceful. In my opinion.
Dad was angry because I saw the bit where they actually show the whole arrest when she's arrested and the father comes home and he's like, okay, so you've been sending those text messages? And he's just like, can you get her out of the house now or this is going to get dangerous? Yeah.
I know. And they were hugging each other, the mother and the daughter, while she was being... it's just horrendous. The whole thing's horrendous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we need to move on from our because honestly I needed a shower after that. It was a
shower.
It is. It's like it's
dirty.
It's really disturbing stuff. Like when it comes to hurting your own, it's really.
So would she be getting paid for the documentary? Like, why would she decide to do it?
Well, I think because of her mental illness needing attention, I really do think she's got like a personality disorder. And
she's going to be one tricky mother-in-law.
Very complex issues going on
mother-in-law or tricky grandma. Imagine the weird shit she's going to do when she becomes a grandma. Just like turn up at all the school sports days and freak everyone out.
Yeah. No, I know. Anyway, moving on. We are going to be talking about the Beckham, Brooklyn Beckham, God, say that 10 times fast, and Nicola Peltz, the drama that has been ensuing in the house of Beckhams with
Put
David
their picture up, Nadia.
Yeah, well, so we've got David and Victoria.
Good-looking couple. I mean, you'd expect nothing less.
Good-looking couple.
Great-looking couple.
Here is them at their, it's a Vogue cover. I mean, look at them.
Wow.
So basically we have Brooklyn Beckham, who is 26, and Nicola Peltz is 30.
Right.
So we all know who Brooklyn is, but who is Nicola Peltz? Well, she's an actress. She's an actress, and she's more notably a heiress. I want to say that properly. Heiress. Sorry.
Heiress.
It's so Australian.
She owns her own hair. She's an heiress. Yes.
Of her father's fortune, Nelson Peltz. Now, Nelson Peltz is I actually didn't know this before, that there was something called an activist investor. Did you know what that is, Joan?
So someone that puts money into organisations that do good in the world.
Well, that would be a nicer way. No, it's not exactly. An activist investor is someone that buys stocks and stakes in big companies, basically companies that are failing, that they can, they're already big kind of companies like PepsiCo. His first kind of big win was in Snapple in the 80s, which is a kind of American drink.
The apple drink. I like a Snapple.
Snapple. Yeah.
Yep.
He's done Disney, he's done Heinz. So it's basically he works specifically in consumable items.
Yeah.
Basically things that are already on the stock market that aren't doing very well. He buys big stakes.
Slinks on in. And he
slinks in, he reorganizes the company, he, fires, he, organizes different things to restructure the companies. And generally, he's worth $1.6 billion at the moment, and he's extremely successful in what he does. So, that's where the fortune comes from. So
and he makes Posh and Becks look poor, right? Like he's absolutely minted.
Yes. And there's actually a funny picture online. Actually, I'll just pull that up just because you.
Oh yeah, great. Let me say.
you brought that to my attention. There was some commentary just recently. They both, Brooklyn and Nicola, had a St. Tropez holiday, and the Beckhams were there in their, it was basically a yacht holiday, and they were comparing the yachts.
Yes.
So basically Nicola's yacht,
who's now brunette in this photo.
Yeah, so her yacht is worth £85 million, and the Beckham's yacht is £16 million. Just to give you
it looks like a canoe next to.
It looks like a dinghy.
Looks like a dinghy. Yeah. Which should
All
be
right,
very humiliating for Posh and Bex.
Absolutely. So let me just take you into how the happy couple met. They actually met at Leonardo DiCaprio's Halloween party.
Okay. Was Leonardo preying on young girls at the time?
Well, I'm sure he invited her as a contender.
Yeah.
But she was probably too old at the time, because Nicola's actually 30. So I think she's 4 years older than Brooklyn. So they fell in love really quickly. Brooklyn moved to the States in 2020, and they had their wedding in April 2022.
Yes.
So basically, this is where things start unraveling, and where we're kind of seeing a little bit of a rift between the families, because obviously we have a few reports that happened in the wedding. So there's one sort of more that's a room, like a source says, which is that, so Mark Anthony performed at the wedding, which is a really good friend of Victoria Beckhams, and apparently she introduced, Mark Anthony introduced the instead of introducing the couple as the first dance, introduced Brooklyn to dance with the most beautiful woman in the world. He said something referring to how beautiful Victoria was, and introduced those two onto the floor. Well, apparently Nicola didn't like this and ran out of the room crying. That is a little bit more rumored, but the one thing that we do know for sure is that she wore 3 wedding dresses on the evening of the wedding, and none of them were Victoria's designs. And we know that Victoria had offered, and she was lined up to wear one of Victoria's design dresses. She chose to go for Oscar de la Renta and other big kind of names there.
But she wore 3 dresses. Why couldn't one of them have been her mother-in-law's? She had 3 to choose from. Come on.
True.
And it's posh.
So this is way back in 2022. So after this, we are because we're usually seeing them at all happy families before the wedding. Now we're not seeing Nicola as much, and we're not seeing Brooklyn as much in any of the family events. In fact, the very last time we see them together was it's October 2024. Brooklyn launched his hot sauce called Cloud 23, which was honor of David Beckham's number 23 that he played for which was nice. And that was their last public appearance. And there's been so many different events, and I'll give you a few. There was no sign of them at David Beckham's 50th birthday. No. And David was celebrating all week.
All over Europe.
He
had multiple events.
Yes. But the actual thing that was really upsetting is that not only did they not go, they live in the States now, Brooklyn and Nicola flew to London but didn't go to his event at the time of the event. What they did was get a private jet to Paris, and they ate at David's favorite restaurant. They did a few things that were kind of really
slap in the face. Yes.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then, David,
I also hear that if you were following their Instagram accounts quite closely, you can see that they've stopped liking each other's or have unfollowed people, I believe.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people say now, that the whole story kind of unfolds on Instagram. And in fact, one post from David's 50th birthday celebration was him, and it was meant to be the three boys going to like a fishing expedition, as like a boys kind of thing as part of the birthday celebration. Now they took a photograph, and Beckham, posted the two boys, Cruz and Romeo, with himself, and tagged Brooklyn and said, "Miss you, Brooklyn." Like just, so you can, he's, they're hurting.
Reaching out.
Yeah, it is. Look, and what I like really feel about this, Victoria, it is really sad, because Victoria and Brooklyn's relationship was so strong, because we all know that
he was number one.
David and Victoria have had really, a lot of issues in their marriage, but like Brooklyn always was the glue that held everything together. Yeah. And look, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe that was too much pressure for him. I'm not sure, but it really does feel like Brooklyn is the one that has rejected the family rather than the family rejecting him. Like he's sort of gone over, found this woman and just gone, and she's unhappy with a few things that went down. And of course, there's always more. We don't know everything that's happened behind closed doors. But we know.
What's not to like about the Beckhams? I mean, we've all seen the Beckham documentary. They are the most charming, funny couple in the world. Like, how could you not be like, yes, I want to be part of this loving
Well,
family?
Look, we don't know what's happening underneath, we're always going to see the Instagrammable moments, the shiny bits. We don't know what's happening underneath. But it is, like, just from, like, I'm not a mother, but I can only imagine what it feels like to have raised a young man and everything that goes into motherhood, and then for your child to literally turn your back. That would be so devastating and so painful.
Yes, but it is not uncommon, unfortunately.
It's not uncommon. And it's
not uncommon.
It's sad. It's sad.
Families are messed up, even the Beckhams.
Look, we can't. We would be blind if we did not mark the similarities between Meghan and Harry to Brooklyn and Nicola. Now, let me give you a couple of similarities. Nicola is 4 years older than Brooklyn.
Yes.
Meghan is 3.5 years older than Harry.
Yes.
Harry and Brooklyn are British, and they come from dynasties. They come from royalty.
They have. One is the official royal family of England, and the Posh Becks are the unofficial royal couple.
They are.
Absolutely.
And they both married older American actresses.
Women.
And they have both left England to move to America, and they have both they're not speaking to their families anymore. And guess who was at dinner? What do you call it? It's not consolidating. What's the word? In solidarity. They were having dinner at Montecito. Meghan and Harry was having dinner with Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz, probably discussing their family dramas. Probably,
I would say so. Encouraging
consoling each other.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Is Nicole going to release a really shit home decor show?
Nicola?
Yeah.
Nicola, I don't think she requires that. Look, she's probably in the family business. She actually keeps a pretty low profile. Besides her few acting gigs, like she was in like Transformers, like one of the later, renditions. She actually keeps a pretty low profile, besides going to lots and lots of Hollywood.
She's been in music videos. Yeah, she's been in like just small parts in movies, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really concludes the
current saga.
The Beckxit. Can we say Beckxit? I'll just claim that right.
Surely that's been done before, but yes, claim that.
I'm going to look that up.
I love
so
it.
So now we have to now go to our
Alfred.
With Love Megan season 2. Right through line there. Come on.
Yeah. Good link. Okay, so season 2 of With Love Megan has come out, and it is absolutely abysmal. It is so much worse than series 1. It is boring.
They really chose the best bits of season 1.
It's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So Megan starts with inviting her pretend friends around, a series of pretend friends. We have a whole lot of like chefs who are also on Netflix. So you can see that, you know, she's clearly they've clearly got contracts with Netflix, and Netflix has forced them to fly across the world and go on Megan's show.
Who are some of those guests? We've got Tan France.
Yes, well done.
Yes. Yeah. Who else have we got?
Okay, so he's from what's that show?
Queer Eye.
He's from Queer Eye. I love him. He's great, and he's lovely on this. Who else have we got? We've got there's an Indian couple who like run. They cook. They have cookbooks and restaurants, and they clearly make some beautiful dishes. And there's a famous chef who did the cooking at Megan's wedding. There is the wife of what's his name? Of the famous singer.
So Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. So Chrissy, he makes an appearance. Jay Shetty, which you were talking about, the influential speaker. Jamie Kern-Lima makes a little appearance. We've got Tam France. We've got David, of course, Chang, the chef, and Jose Andres.
He's brilliant. I love Jose Andres. He runs that kitchen that goes into war-torn areas, and he makes food for people who are, you know, victims of war, which is like so anyway, so these people come onto her show. She makes them do the most boring tasks, which are they've gone down a level from her previous one pot pasta, which was I thought, you know, boring enough, but no, she takes it to a new level, and she starts pulling out kindergarten activities for her guests to do. She's like, right, today we're going to make aprons using vegetables, and like cuts up vegetables, and poor Tan is forced to start making patterns on an apron, and you know, try and
I literally did that exact exercise in preschool.
Of course you did. Yeah, because that's exactly, of course you did. That is what everyone did in preschool. They used cut up vegetables to make artwork. So they do that. She gets the owner of like a really successful restaurants. She's a pastry chef. She makes her and her partner tie-dye scarves. I mean, for what reason? Like, for what purpose? I don't understand. What's it got to do with anything?
He likes making people feel special in special ways.
Yeah. It is, and then what else does she do? That's about it, really. She makes...
Well, there was the floral arrangements, it has to be mentioned. It's there every season. The floral arrangements there. She wraps books. She wraps.
Oh yes, thank you for mentioning it. No, she wraps presents. There's two sections where she shows us how to wrap presents. One using a traditional Japanese style of wrapping presents where you use material, and another she just wraps it with paper. I mean, really, you're showing me how to wrap presents?
Yeah, but look, the ratings really. They don't lie. She hasn't reached in any country well, not in the States and not in Australia. She hasn't reached the top 10, which is the benchmark of any show that's going to be renewed on Netflix. You have to reach that top 10 like lineup. She does, as we've sort of previously mentioned, they have signed her for one more thing, which is going to be a With Love Megan Christmas special.
Christmas special. I love a Christmas special. I'll watch any Christmas special.
Yeah, which kind of would suit.
It does suit it because her rapping presence would be highly relevant, which I'm sure will feature heavily, along with other painful art and craft ideas that she can show us, like biscuit decorating and I don't know, folding origami or something.
Yeah.
Really bad.
There was quite a few moments where I feel like her guests were giving her shit, either intentionally or unintentionally. I reckon Tan gave her a few digs in itself and she was kind of like giggling them off. But in one instance where she was at a bar and they were like learning how to make cocktails, and the cocktail the guy who was teaching them said he used to be in law, and then he got into like mixology, and she's like, oh, did you used to watch Suits? And he said, oh, I don't watch basic TV. In which her face was just like, oh,
furious.
Okay.
The Megan stare.
That was a major dig. Look, she wore it pretty well. She kind of laughed it off, but like inside she's just probably like going, oh my God.
Fuming.
But Suits as a show is actually doing really well on Netflix. It's you know.
Suits wasn't a bad show. It's quite a good show. But she
I reckon
she also, there's awkward, like they have awkward dinners. She has so many awkward dinners, and like her and Tan go down to a windy beach and sit on the beach and eat the horrible apple pie they've just made.
I remember that. It looked pretty uncomfortable. It was like, let's
really
get
awkward.
That shot. We live at the beach. We need to get this shot. And
we need to get this shot. It was really windy. And then she also, she has like one, like with the chef that she brought out from England so that she could talk about her wedding, of course. And the chef could then compliment her on how fabulous her wedding was. They sit down to this like really exuberant meal that, which is beautiful. Like the chef has made a really beautiful meal, but like it's again very awkward because you're just sitting there with this person that I imagine you don't know very well, having a really intimate dinner of like shellfish and white wine. It's strange.
Yeah,
and awkward.
It is very strange, and you know it's bad when the hate watchers stop watching. Yeah, and there's no. And there's no like I was on, after it came out, I sort of have a quick look on, TikTok, see what the masses, see what the young focus. None of them picked up on anything. Like there might have been a few struggling posts when I went to search, but there was nothing. Like when even those people have cleared the room, you're kind of like, all right,
yeah. Well, people have described it as boring and intolerable.
Yeah. No, that's not far from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this stage. I do feel a little bit bad. I do feel a little bit. They do really seem lost, and like I don't know what's next for them, and maybe like I just. No, like in Megan's heart, like she just wants that relevancy. She wants that. She recently did that interview. It was kind of like
she did an interview with Emily Chang. Yes, and
it was meant to be like a hard-hitting interview, but it was so softball. She would have had all of the questions up front. She answered those questions like she had planned, rehearsed every single one, and they kind of hit on all of the key points, like. The trad wife thing and like what's next in her career. And it was so, performative again with the performative stuff, it's like I don't know what we want to hear. Like, I don't want to hear anything anymore. Like I'm so bored, we're not getting entertained we're not getting any, we're not learning anything new. And it's at this time where it's like, okay, maybe just spend some time with your kids. Hang out.
Have a break.
And have a break.
Do all those things in private. We don't need to have them filmed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, in line with Megan, who lives in the town of Montecito. Let's look at Montecito and why is it such an attraction to all celebrities, Nadia? What do you think makes people such as Oprah, Gwyneth, Megan, other stars? I mean, the list goes on. That's nothing. Ellen. Who else lives here? Pretty much. I mean, it's just filled.
I reckon Ellen's moved, but yeah, she used to live there. I reckon because it's a reasonable distance from the town of LA, where I'm sure that a lot of their business dealings would happen. It's a very well protected town. I'm sure it's a very wealthy and gated town. It's got the pictures that come from, especially in that first season with Love Megan, you saw the background of the hills, and then they're very close to the beach. They're very close to Santa Barbara, so they've got access to a bigger township. Look, I'm sure there's a lot of amazing, and also the neighbors. Hello, like all your rich neighbors are probably some kind of attraction.
Well, let's compare. I just tried to put up. I can't put it up. Hang on. Remove from steering. I want to add the picture of Montecito. It's not letting me.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's compare. You and I live in Ballarat and you live in Rosebud. Let's compare Ballarat, Rosebud and Montecito.
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's do that. All right. So the medium house price in Montecito, Montecito is in between beautiful mountains and the ocean, firstly. Nadia, Rosebud is also between beautiful mountains and the ocean, is it not?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Ballarat is not. Ballarat is, we do have the Grampians somewhat nearby and we have a lake. So not. Okay. Yeah. What is the medium house price in Ballarat is $590,000 for a house. You can come and live here. Whereas in Montecito, you would pay $7.5 million, the median house price.
Wow.
What's your median house price of Rosebud?
In Rosebud, it's $770,000.
Yeah, right. Okay, you're about another 150 above Ballarat. Yes. Okay, the median temperature. Median temperature Ballarat is 25 in summer and 10 in winter. So, it's warm. Look, it is very warm in summer. It's bloody cold in winter. Yeah. It actually gets more sunny days than Melbourne. But Melbourne generally is about 4 degrees warmer than Ballarat.
Interesting. Very interesting. Rosebud's temperature, the maximum is 24.7 and the minimum is 7.7. I'm sure that's from our coastal breezes. And we are sort of generally cooler in summer than Melbourne just because we don't have all that concrete and we're just area.
Okay, well, Montecito share a warm Mediterranean climate. So it is cooler than the inland cities because of being on the ocean, like you just mentioned, but a warm climate which attracts all of the celebrities to the area.
Yeah.
They enjoy that. Now, I've looked up.
Well, what's the temperature average? You never told us.
Oh, yeah, all I've written down is that it's a warm Mediterranean climate.
Oh. Sorry, I exposed you there.
I'll bring it up. I'm sure I can bring it up real quick. Now, more importantly, why does Montecito have so many celebrities and what celebrities do Ballarat and Rosebud have? Yeah. So I came up with.
Yeah.
Ballarat has Steve Monaghetti, winner of the Commonwealth Gold Medal. Michelle Payne, the first woman to win the Melbourne Cup. Warren Ellis, who is Nick Cave's right-hand man, the violin player.
Okay.
And also such people as Plugger from St Kilda. Do you know who I'm talking about? The football player?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plugger came from Ballarat. And that's, the list goes on from there.
That's a pretty good roster. Yeah, and I've got to say that Stephen Monaghetti did a a inspirational talk at my high school when I was younger, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I did get a little bit of a like, oh, he's a celebrity. It was quite a fun thing that we had there. Well, the only person that I could get is I couldn't find anyone in Rosebud. So I found Paul Mercurio, who of course starred in Ballroom, in Strictly Ballroom, and he lives in Tyab. He's actually the MP for Hastings, so he's in politics.
Oh,
he's in local politics. Yeah, so he's got a real face for the Mornington Peninsula.
You have a celebrity counsellor.
I'm claiming him. We do.
I feel like you'd actually have more celebrities in Rosebud, and and look, the further along you went along the peninsula, you would definitely be getting a whole lot of celebs around there.
Maybe in Macrae. Like, I feel like it's more of a transient. Like, if you did have a lot of money, you would probably have
more Portsea or Sorrento
holiday. Yeah, your holiday home in Portsea and your principal home in Melbourne. But yeah, so because of the transient nature of the towns and the townships that I live in, I actually think that's the best I could do. But I am curious about the population of Montecito.
Right, it's quite small, so it is a small place. It's not large at all. It's only 8,600 filthy rich residents. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So just in comparison, Rosebud has 14,773.
Well, you've doubled them. And I have Ballarat's just trounced all over them with a whopping figure of 120,000 residents.
Wow. So
one of them being Steve Monaghetti. Thank you very much.
I reckon you're getting close to having
a city.
I don't know when that flips over, but
no, I think we are a city, the city of Ballarat. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Well, what are you? What's Rosebud?
It's a suburb of Greater Mornington Peninsula. It's not quite Melbourne, but it's Greater Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's really a suburb of Mornington Peninsula.
So really, we can the Montecito is a filthy rich place. Small people. Oprah's house. She has a I just quickly googled some of her housing stuff. She's a Spanish Revival style house because it is Montecito is a Spanish name. She has pool house, expansive gardens, gym, and a rose garden, and it's 70 acres. And I think Gwyneth is similar, possibly Megan as well, Megan and Oprah seem to be like, next door neighbours and like carry on chasing each other's ducks around and stuff.
Yeah, if you are interested, Gwyneth Paltrow does have a full house showing in Architectural Digest. You can just on YouTube, you'll be able to find it really easy. And I believe she's got a full spa in there. She's got steam rooms, and it's
it would be
designed.
Amazing.
I mean, I didn't like it, to be honest.
Didn't you?
I didn't like her. No, I didn't like her. It's not for me, but it's for someone, and it's certainly done in a very, the attention to detail was definitely there.
And it would be comfortable. It'd be nice to live in such a place.
Oh, it'd be worth millions and squillions of dollars for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Well, there you go. That is our first introduction to Montecito and comparing it to other areas. Why do celebs flock to this area? Although I wonder if we talked about where celebs flock to in Australia. I suppose we'd be talking about Byron Bay. You may be talking about the Mornington Peninsula, Nadia, I think.
Yeah, look, Potts Point in Sydney, Lavender Bay in Sydney, all around the harbour is a classic kind of spot for celebrities.
Yes.
Byron Bay, of course.
Yes.
Melbourne. I mean,
inner city Melbourne.
I don't think Toorak is really popular for people these days. It's sort of more old money, South Yarra, of course, different areas around that, that domain is of course,
Yeah, totally.
Is people, celebrities are all over it. But, it's interesting where these folk especially
Cluster.
Meghan and Harry. Meghan and Harry needed to be part of that exclusive club, which you know, is kind of suits them, I would say. They just need to be a part of it all. But I reckon that concludes today. It was a big show. We're on almost 55 minutes.
Yep.
If you've made it this far, congratulations.
And happy birthday to me and commiserations to Erin Patterson.
Yes, happy birthday, Tony Moore. Well done. And, you know, and thanks to all of our avid listeners. There's probably 30, maybe 20 to 30 of you.
I reckon.
We love each and every one of you.
We do.
If you've got any extra time in your day, give us a follow, like, subscribe, comment, give us a review. We really appreciate that sort of stuff, and it really does allow us to grow. Any last comments, Joni?
No, just have a lovely day, everyone.
Yeah, awesome.
Och, that's enough moaning for today, lasses. See you next week.